What's going on? Welcome to another live quarantine TV edition of Real Fans Real Talk. Y'all know we got Brooklyn in the building tonight, man. That's why we had to start. We had to start so late. I can't front. I'm a little upset because I was hoping you was gonna wear the Brooklyn Dodgers joint that you had on in the ring last week. But
I mean, I got the hat.
you do got the hat. You do got the hat.
I got my customized joint.
Yes, sir.
On
Yes,
the
sir.
back. Man.
Yes, sir. See, when you're knocking cats out like that, you can get a lot of customized. But
Yeah.
let me introduce my co-host really quick, and then we just gonna jump right into this interview, man. Eric Sanchez, Legend in Two Games. What's up, my brother?
What's really good, bro? I'm super excited for this episode. We get the future champ back with us live, and the hat is perfect timing because it is Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball today.
That's facts. That is true. That is
So
true.
bringing the Brooklyn Dodgers joint out today is perfect timing, bro.
Yeah. Facts.
Now, did that cross your mind when you picked out what you the shorts that you were going to wear in the ring last week?
To be honest, no. A lot of my outfits, they're like, New York based, Brooklyn based. So I was just kind of like, just going with that, to be honest. And, Brooklyn Dodgers is, legendary. It's iconic. So I had to go with that. But I had no idea it was going to line up with the whole Jackie Robinson thing, though.
Well, listen, everything worked out perfectly. I would say the fight worked out perfectly again as well.
Thank you.
I kind of last week when we spoke about the fight, I said that we were gonna have to change your nickname from Shu Shu to Baby Mike Tyson because we don't, the fights don't go the distance anymore because you like to, as Eric says, you fight like you got dinner reservations that you're gonna be late for if you don't get the early knockout.
This dude, man. Nah, man. I like to break my opponents down and pick them apart. But if they can't take the heat in the kitchen, then it is what it is. But I'm just the type of dude. I like to break my opponents down.
And I want to applaud you for that as well because even though you're very young and it's early in your career, you showed a lot of poise because you had him hurt early in that fight, and you didn't just get careless. You still continue to break him down and then methodically just end the fight. But as I mentioned, it almost seemed like you had other plans that night because it was over quick. There was people still trying to get to their seat, and then when they looked up, you was already celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, man. I want to enjoy the rest of the fights, man. Yeah, Keyshawn Davis fighting, Cherish, Shakur, Troy. You had a bunch of other dudes fighting. I want to watch some fights, man. I want to be a spectator, bro. Come on, now, let me stop playing around. But yeah, no, I was just super prepared for my fight. Honestly, it was honestly the best camp that I had, since I've been a pro, and I was super prepared for this. So that's why the results were the way they were. I was just in spectacular shape.
Did you expect more from your opponent in the fight? Like, did you feel like this was gonna be an early night, or did you expect to kind of go the distance?
I mean, I was prepared for anything. I wasn't really expecting a early night or a long night. I was just prepared for whatever was gonna come. Me, I'm just the type of dude. I just adapt to any type of situation. So, whatever the fight was gonna go, I was just gonna go with the flow. To be honest, so I wasn't going there expecting anything.
Now, you mentioned how great of a camp you had leading up to this fight, and because it was such a quick fight, is that why I see you've already announced the next date?
Yeah.
You already have the next lined up. You got the next victim already lined up, whoever it is, because you haven't announced who the person is. But is that why you're turning around so quickly and fighting? Because you've had such a great camp, you got him out of there quick, and you want to stay as active as possible?
That's part of the reason. Yeah, definitely. I really only put in like a round and a half in, and I'm in tip-top shape, so I'm ready to get back in there. And then plus, I like staying active. I love staying active. I love what Top Rank is doing. They're really matching me up great. They're keeping me active, and I'm just loving how everything is going right now. So, yeah, they're doing everything I want them to do, bro. So that's one of the main reasons why we're back in there on June 10th.
Getting ready for the summertime.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to lead into the summer.
It's my second time, back to back, fighting on a Puerto Rican Day weekend. Yeah, because last time I fought, Edgar fought He didn't fight Steve Rose. He fought Angulo, I believe. No, I actually fought I actually missed that weekend. I fought the weekend after. Yeah, better be Evan Joe Smith fought. I definitely just missed. Well, first time this year, I guess.
You mentioned Berlanga. Is he going to be fighting that night as well, the 10th? Because I know he's been trying to align some of his fights with the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Nah, man, Berlanga's with the zone now. He's with the zone now.
He made the switch. That's right.
Yeah, he made the switch. So I don't think he's going to be fighting. I think he's fighting in August instead. I don't think he's fighting in June. I can't wait to see what he fighting Jason Quigley. That's gonna be a good fight for him, bro. And I hear he's calling out Canelo and stuff like that. So, big ups to my boy, man. I feel like he has a bright, future, going on ahead of him right now. I'm, just to see my stablemates from when we were little kids, just to be able to be in conversations with the likes of Canelo and, to at least even be on that type of stage is a blessing.
Well, all right. So let's talk about your bright future. Another knockout victory. I guess I would say, how many fights do you feel like you're away from being able to legitimately contend for a championship belt?
I don't think I have a number of fights. It's more so like a time thing. I feel like in the next, I'll say year and a half, maybe two. Two is kind of like at its cap. But I would say like about a year and a half, maybe two. That's when you guys are gonna start seeing me in like the title contention and everything like that for sure. The way everybody's just kind of talking about me and the way everybody just kind of sees where my potential can go, they're like kind of pushing me to be like, oh, let's put him with the champions and just have him fight this guy, fight that guy. But we're taking our time and we're making sure we're doing everything correctly in terms of, taking the time to build my fan base and getting these, fights, lined up right so I can be moved at a good pace. We're not in no rush. We're gonna make sure we're a household name by the time we even fight for a world champion, a world championship. Like I like the way how Ryan Garcia.
Hold on, we lost audio for a second.
The audio got knocked out there.
He must have got a call.
Yeah, I did get a call. I'm trying
You good now? Yeah, you good now. You good?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you again.
Yeah, all right, cool. I had my journal on do not disturb just now. Ish. So I feel like, we're just taking our time, man. We're doing the right things right now. And I like how Ryan Garcia did what he did in terms of building his name before even fighting for a title. Like, look, him and Tank, one of the biggest fights in boxing right now is night before a title fight. So that household name, holds a lot of weight. And that's what I want to be.
I'm so glad you said that. I know we're going to get into that fight later in this conversation, but how tough is it to balance the competitive nature you already have of wanting to be a champion, wanting to prove you are the best, while also trying to build up the name to get to that point where you are a mega star that people want to pay to see every time you come out?
I mean, it's not that hard, to be honest, for me, because I know my game plan. Me and my dad, who's also my manager, we found out this formula when we were in the amateurs, honestly. And it's like something that I noticed that I was doing in the amateurs and that people didn't understand at the point in time. But then as time went on, everybody was like, oh, okay, I see what you guys are doing. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense now. So, yeah, man, like I'm 100% confident in my game plan. And I'm like, like I said, I'm in no rush. Like, yeah, I know and I'm ready to fight these guys. Like, trust and believe I'm ready to fight these champions. Like, I'm there. But yeah, man, it's you gotta let the steak simmer. Wait, hold on, I'm vegan. I can't even. I'm plant. I can't say steak. I gotta think about my mushrooms. Yeah, I gotta let the mushrooms sizzle. I gotta let the mushrooms sizzle. You know what I mean? But yeah, all good things come to those who wait. And you guys are gonna get a good treat by the time it's time for you to fight for the chips.
Absolutely. So, because you did mention Ryan Garcia. how are you, I guess, handling your social media to kind of help you with that push for your brand?
Oh man, well, I'm trying to get on that Garcia level, to be honest. But as of right now, I've just been putting up different, like, little boxing clip, little videos here and there, little clips of my old fights or training and stuff like that, little inspirational stuff. Or I'll have like little personal clips, like of me just doing my regular little day-to-day stuff, little funny stuff on my story or whatever. I do a little stuff like that. I like going to schools and talking to the kids that's coming up and speaking to the youth, reaching out to them because they're the future. They're the next ones coming up and whatever, and just in the world, whether it's boxing or just anything that's gonna, help the world go around. I love speaking to the kids and getting, inspiring them. Just, I'm working on other things as well too, man. I got a lot of things in the wraps to help me, build my fan base.
We got a first of all, shout out to everybody that's checking in on the live right now. Hoop Baller Scoop, he sent in a question for you. He wants to know who are your boxing idols.
My boxing idols coming up was definitely Mike Tyson, Zab Judah, Floyd Mayweather for sure. Those are like the top three guys that was like pioneers for me coming into the game. Mayweather he really more so solidified himself as the number one spot for me for sure, because he definitely changed the game and taught like the boxers how to maximize their income when it comes to the business, how to navigate and be able to promote themselves and, get the most, money out of, this business. And I'm super grateful for that. And then on a fighting standpoint, he made people appreciate the art in the sport, the sport of boxing. Everybody was just so caught up in the Tyson era for so long with the knockouts and everything, like even the heavyweights, the knockouts. But then once Mayweather came in and the heavyweight era started to fizzle out, everybody kind of just found a way how to start to get more educated into the sport by watching Mayweather. So I really like that. People are starting to really respect it more so than just this barbaric sport to where you just knock each other out.
Where do you have Mayweather ranked?
Number one, all time. Yeah, all time. Because you gotta understand, and the reason my number one thing I throw out there is the fact that he, the boxing evolves, bro. Like, come on, you can't expect the greats from back then to compete with some of the greats of today, because those old tricks that we seen time and time again from back then, we study, we're used to that, we adapt to that, we certain things, we do new things now. You don't see people that do footwork like Lomachenko. You don't see people doing a shoulder roll like Mayweather, how he mastered it. James Toney, he had this really shell shoulder roll, but it wasn't like Mayweather's. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather, kind of secured it on a different level. Of course, you're gonna have your exceptions, and these timeless fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali. Those guys, I feel like they could compete with anybody in any era. But for the majority, the boxing evolves, bro. It's just like having a basketball argument, the best of, you can't compete and compare when it comes to that. So, but Mayweather, he's the best, man. He's the best of the best, man, and I'm sticking to it.
We got
Trip, I don't know if you want to post. I was about to say, I don't know if you want to post that.
Eric, I'll let you take. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Eric,
you can post that if you want to.
No. Not your
this
answer.
Is a different
your
question.
Your answer was exceptional.
Oh,
it's this particular question. You know what I'm saying? Latina Davis, I appreciate that. We appreciate you tuning in. Right. We appreciate everyone who tunes in.
Let me say this before you decide whether or not you're gonna answer that question. Let me say this. Recently, Cameron and Patrick Beverly were having a little back and forth because Patrick Beverly said that he does not have sex before he has a game, and Cam said, "Man, you better go ahead and get you something. You averaging a triple single." So now I'll let you take it away. If you want to answer that question, it's on you.
That's crazy of Pat Bev to even say that, because they play 82 games in a year. You basically knocking off almost half the calendar. But Shu Shu, take it away.
Man, hey man, This is now they stop playing.
Pause.
Nah, man. Hey, no, on some real. It's all a mental thing, you know. It's like I feel like, to be honest, I'm being frank. It's like a discipline thing. It's kind of like if you want to sustain from sex, it's like, you know, you want to put yourself in this, especially for a boxer. I don't know about basketball players, but for a boxer, we want to put ourselves in this animalistic mode. And I feel like, you know, sometimes if you might want to succumb to sex, then you might kind of get that out of you. But to each his own, because some people like doing that and they might feel loose and then they might feel more relaxed in the ring, and and they'll use that to their advantage. Some people want to feel more animalistic, so they might sustain from that. So it's like to each his own, bro. Like, it just depends on the person.
Well, shout out to Latina. We appreciate y'all. Keep the questions coming in.
That's a great answer by Shu Shu as well. You can tell that he's so media savvy. You can already tell. You know what I'm saying? He's so media savvy. You see it. No, Bruce, I want to ask you though, because I've mentioned this before. Trip and I have spoken that, throughout the calendar year, we hear, this basketball season, this NFL season. For me, once the calendar switches over to April, it's boxing season. We see some of the best fights get scheduled in that spring, summertime.
Yes.
We have some great fights coming up. You mentioned Lomachenko. Which one are you most excited to see over the next 2 months? Because you got obviously the big one next week, Ryan and Tank. You got Loma and Devin Haney. You got Canelo stepping back in the ring soon as well. Yeah. Which one of those are you most excited to see?
Probably the Ryan and Tank one for sure. That Loma and Devin one is really close. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's really close. But it's not as like, it's going to be a competitive fight, highly, but it's just the 50-50 fight for real is that Ryan and Tank, bro. I feel Devin has more of the edge coming into the fight with Loma because his age, his activity, and his style is going to give Loma some problems because his style was very similar to the style that Jermaine Ortiz used to fight Lomachenko. And yeah, if you want to use the fact that Loma was off for fighting for Ukraine and everything like that, like you can use that. That's valid. You know what I mean? But hey, still, you got to judge a fighter off his last fight. And Lomachenko had problems with Jermaine Ortiz, and Devin's style excels. Takes Jermaine, what he brought to the table, he kind of takes it to the next level. So that's why I feel like the Ryan and Tank fight is a little closer. Like, I love how Ryan, he has like this chip on his shoulder. Like me, bro, I always thought Ryan was a real fighter. A lot of these guys want to act like, Ryan is this YouTube or internet, TikTok, whatever. You got social media guy, but he's legit, bro. Like, he done came from the amateurs with us, won all these different tournaments and everything like that. He could have, competed for the Olympics if he wanted to, but he decided not to and turned pro. Same thing with Tank. So it's like these guys they're real, like, they're real fighters, come from the ground up, put in years and years of competition under their belt. And Ryan has been making a great case for himself. This last fight that he had with Fortuna, these guys don't have easy fights with Fortuna. A lot of these guys, like big names that fought him, they didn't have like easy fights with him. So for Ryan to make easy work of him, I mean, that was a real statement. Yeah, you guys want to say Fortuna's getting old, but people always want to make that excuse when these guys take an L. Like, nah, like Fortuna is a solid competitor, and Ryan did a great job with him. Tank is Tank. You know what he brings to the table, and with these two guys, with their styles, the way how their height, the whole conundrum that they have, it's great. It's like for sure it's going to be a stoppage. Somebody's going to get stopped. I don't see it going to decision.
Latina, we're going to get to your other question in a minute. While we're talking Tank and Ryan Garcia, I guess it's a two-part question. Tank wins because Ryan wins because.
That's the thing. So Ryan wins because he sticks to his game plan, and it keeps his distance in boxes. And hopefully his condition is well enough to last out later rounds to where he can keep that game plan going. Tank wins if he can stay patient and wait till Ryan starts to wither. And Tank does that with a lot of his fights. He did that with his last fight with Hector Garcia. He did that with Mario Barrios. He did that with Leo Santa Cruz. He waits. He lets you get your little shots off and stuff like that. Make sure you don't hit him too clean. But once you get a little confident, you start to open up, then that's when he starts to pick you apart and take you out. So if Tank does
that's the Mayweather tree right there.
Yeah, for real, for real. If Tank does that, he wins. If Ryan does that, he wins.
Let me throw this up. Eric, want to take that question?
I got it. I wanted to say to Shu Shu as well. That is a great point because Tank already alluded to that when he said, "I'm going to drag you into deep waters."
Yeah.
So he's already hinted at, you know, I'm going to bring you to a point that you're not as comfortable in the fight before I try to put you away.
Yeah.
Capri Johnson, she said, "Great question on the sex while Latina." But her question is more about the brutality of the sport. She said, "With shots to the head, do you ever worry about brain problems down the road?"
I mean, yeah, that's why you know I stay defensive, bro. I don't get hit. You know, I ain't worried about that. Now you stop playing.
That's also why you get him out of there in 2 rounds, though. That's also why you get him up out of there. If it's over 2 rounds, I ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, bro, you got to understand, like us fighters, we love the sport so much. We know what we signed up for. You know what I mean? We accept this. Like we know exactly what we signed up for. It's not something that weighs on our mind. I've been boxing for 18 years. You think I'm gonna just be thinking about that though every single time I get into a fight? No. Like I train my butt off to where like I make sure that these things, like for the most of what I can control, I make sure that it doesn't happen. You know, I work on my defense to like down to the T. You know, and I make sure I'm as sharp as I can be so that I don't have to worry about that. You know, I look at guys like Mayweather. He's a defensive genius. I look at Shakur Stevenson, defensive genius, and like I look at these guys, watching how they protect themselves, and I know that by the end, like you see Mayweather, he got all his faculties, set, and he's great, with his mind and everything. He's good. I feel the same thing will be with Shakur because he's so defensively sound, and I'm gonna be the same way. Like I like to I like to be in the phone booth at times, but I'm defensive in there. I'm not getting hit with no crazy shots, and I'm being very responsible. So yeah, that's not really something I feel like I have to worry about.
Yeah. And let me say this because we've been rocking out with Rington, New York, maybe like 6-7 years now. They help to raise money for fighters that are falling upon hard times. So we've definitely seen a lot of fighters, especially like the elder statesmen that just they aren't doing good, whether it be physically, mentally, from a long career in the sport of boxing. So for all these fighters out there, y'all better be working on y'all defense. You should be following the Mayweathers, the Pernell Whitakers, the guys like that are real defensive specialists and really don't get hit, because that's the only way to have that long career is if you're not getting knocked down and knocked out all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. As appealing as that might be for the fans, we know that there's no longevity in that.
Yeah.
Bruce, I want to ask you, because I know and we know as well that in due time you are going to be a superstar of the sport,
thank you,
megastar. Nah, it's there. The talent. Anybody who's ever seen you fight knows it's only a matter of time.
Thank you.
And the big names will be trying to call you out at some point as well. But is there someone in the featherweight division right now that you would love to fight? Somebody who's in that top 10 who you like, what, I think that would be a great fight for me to be in.
Man, I'm the type of dude, bro. It's whoever. I don't really got nobody that I'm really like focusing on or looking at. Me, I'm just the type of dude. When it's time for me to fight for them belts, anybody can get it. Like it's just like I'm not worried about just this one particular guy. I want to get all them chips, and I want to. It's all about me writing my book, me making my legacy, and all them guys is just gonna be in my book. It just is what it is.
Do you plan on moving up?
When I get all the chips in my division, yeah.
so undisputed champion.
Yeah.
Trip, see, this is why I like this guy, Trip. This is why I like him. When I get all the belts, when we clean house.
Yeah, let's clean the house. Yeah, let's clean house. Then we're gonna talk about moving up, because I done fought in catch weight like 128. I done fought like I think when I fought my third fight, I think I fought at 130. You know what I'm saying? So and then I got the knockout of the year candidate with that fight in my third fight. So yeah, like the 130 division, yeah, I'm definitely will move up to it at some point, but not in the near future for sure. I want to get my chips first.
I'm gonna throw this question.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Trip. Don't do that.
No, just the last part of the question. Just the last part of the question.
Yeah,
Listen,
just the last
this
part of the question. Just the last part of the question.
Wait, hold on.
This is not.
No, you can say the whole thing.
No, but I'm just saying.
Listen,
Let me just say this. This is not the Flavor of Love Bruce Carrington edition. We are not up here looking for dates for Shu Shu.
Yeah.
Okay, this man is focused on becoming an undisputed featherweight champion.
Listen, not only that, if you follow his social media, like I said, I didn't want to bring it up, Bruce, but shout out to you and congratulations. I know you got a major step coming up in your personal life.
Yes,
we ain't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus.
I have no problem talking about it. Listen,
I know you don't.
Ask the questions. I have no problem answering.
Okay. Well, you heard the man, Trip. You heard the man.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say the first part because then I don't want to be up here pausing all day. I'm just you can see that one. Can you see? You can see the comment on the screen.
Yeah, I see it, man.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask the last part of that question. Was boxing the only sport that you pursued?
Yeah. To be honest, my dad made sure of that. Like, my dad definitely made sure that I just was only boxing. He didn't want me playing basketball. He didn't want me doing nothing else. I promise you. Like, and it was kind of frustrating for me as a little kid because I just didn't understand. I didn't know, But I'm glad that he did that because he made me hone into my craft, and it was like, it made me even more sharper. I felt like if I was. Maybe even sharper. So I felt like if I was focused on multiple things at one time, I wouldn't be as good at what I'm good at. So I'm super happy about that. And but to answer the first part of the question, one, thank you, appreciate it. And yes, this is a ring on my finger. I am engaged.
No, I do think though, like you said, you talk about you and your dad's relationship. I think that's super dope, especially now in the sport because we see so many father-son duos. Me coming up watching the sport, I only really remember Shane Mosley and his dad, and obviously Floyd and his dad and his uncle. But now we see Danny Garcia with his pops, we see Devin Haney with Bill Haney, and we see you, Bruce, with your dad as well. So I think that's super dope for the young men coming up in the sport and having that support system of their fathers with them.
Yeah, it's something great, honestly. You just feel it's a certain level of, there's a different connection what you get once you bring your personal life and a business together. Like, it could be a little mixy at times, but if you have like dad like ours, you have this chemistry that you end up like working well with, and my team is great. My team is great. I'm super happy with how my team is, and we taking it all the way to the top.
Let me ask you this: the heavyweight division, because you did mention the decline earlier in the program. Anthony Joshua, he also had a bounce back victory last weekend. He's barking up the Tyson Fury tree again. Which fight would you rather see for Anthony Joshua? Joshua versus Fury or Joshua versus Wilder?
Yeah, I want to see that Wilder fight, bro. I want to see Wilder because that fight was so built up for years before Tyson Fury decided to come back, before Usyk decided to come into the heavyweight division. I mean, I feel like at this point now we feel more confident in who would win, which is Wilder, to be honest. His power is just undeniable. It's undeniable, bro. And there's no disrespect to Joshua. I just feel, like if you're not Tyson Fury, like you're not as big as him, or if you're just too stationary, like right in front of Deontay Wilder, bro, you're done. Like even Tyson Fury, bro, like 2 out of the 3 fights, he got put down, and it's just that he just had the will to get back up. But anybody else is out. Come on, bro. Like, and that man has got brute strength. What do you weigh? Like, well, how much Wilder weigh? Like 230, 225. Like,
yeah,
like he ain't that big of a heavyweight.
Yeah, Fury outweighed him by 40 pounds in their last fight.
He's not that big of a heavyweight. And see, he's trying to, while he was for Fury, he tried to pick up weight. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like he's naturally that size. For his whole career, he was like, like very light as a heavyweight and putting dudes out. Man, listen, Wilder is a different breed. So I feel like I still want to watch that fight because it was just hyped up for so long, and
Yeah, the way they was talking.
It's a little grudge and everything. To be honest, I really want to watch Tyson Fury and Usyk. That's really the only heavyweight fight that matters at this point. You know, you guys can we can make a bunch of fights. We can have Luis Ortiz jumping in somewhere. We can have what's his name?
You got Andy Ruiz.
Ruiz. There we go. We got Andrew Ruiz jumping in. You know, Jared Anderson's coming into the picture. You know, he's making some noise. I don't feel like last week too. Say it again.
Jared looked good last week as well.
Yeah, he looked great. He looked great. I feel like I want to have a few more fights, just to really make more of a case for himself. But stylistically, he can give a lot of these guys problems. And this heavyweight division looks fun right now. So a lot of different fights can be made, but Usyk and Fury is the fight that needs to happen.
As someone who has the insight on what's going on behind the scenes, do you think we will ever see the Spence versus Crawford fight? Because I know that's the one everybody wants, and there seems to be all these politics taking place. Do you think we're ever going to get that one?
I feel like we're very close to it. I honestly feel like this year we will not leave this year without having that fight. If we leave this year without having that fight, it's not going to happen. That's how I feel. Or if it does, the hype of it will drop dramatically. That's how I feel. So this is the year that needs to happen, and I feel like we're close to making it happen. You know why? Because a lot of these guys are fighting each other now. You have Devin Loma. You have
Ryan and
Tank. There's another fight that's happening. These two, Josh Taylor and Teofimo. You have these guys fighting each other
as well.
These guys fighting each other. Now it's making Errol Spence and Bud Crawford look like, yo, what y'all waiting on? You got these little guys fighting. These young guys getting it. Like what y'all doing? Y'all done made y'all career. This is the only fight that's gonna make y'all legacy. It's gonna solidify everything.
That's a great point. You also got what's the other one in lightweight? Cool Boy Steph got a big fight coming up too.
Oh yeah. We're in a way.
That's right.
You guys are fighting each other, bro.
Right.
Come on. So we're close. I feel like we're not gonna leave this year without this fight. I'm pretty confident that.
Once again, shout out to everybody that's rocking out with us on the live. Make sure that you guys are following us on all our social media, facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk, Twitter, Instagram @RealFanTalk, and of course, subscribe to that YouTube channel, youtube.com/For the Fans Productions. For all you guys in New York City, we do air on Thursday nights on Verizon 43 all throughout New York, 8 to 9 p.m. But if you are not in New York, you can still watch on Thursday nights at realfansrealtalk.com. Just click that red button on the homepage, and you can rock out with us on Thursday nights as well. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Sanchez Show and the Real Fans Real Talk podcast. We are streaming on all major platforms. I'm gonna go back to a question from Latina again. Latina Davis. It's a basketball question, but they want to know if you following. We know you're in Brooklyn. Nets is in the playoffs. They take a loss today, but what's your pick for the finals? I guess the two teams that make it to the finals.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't really been following the playoffs yet. I ain't gonna lie, and I don't know why I haven't. Like I just kind of do. I was just like focused on my fight and just been recovering and all that. Last week especially, so I ain't really been following. I gotta get back up on it, to be honest. But man, listen. All I know right now, I'm watching Knicks and Cavs, and the Knicks got to do their thing, son. They got to do their thing, son.
Tell them again, please. Tell them again, please.
Thanks, sorry.
Eric, you ain't over there drinking heavy soda. The Knicks must still be winning.
Well, I've already been sipping. Don't let my secret out. I've been sipping. But yes, I got the Knicks on the screen in the background as we're having this conversation. I'm a diehard Knicks fan, so we need this game one. I want to see what that energy is going to look like when they come back home for game 3.
Yeah, man.
You see, Spike was out there too. Spike out there going crazy in Cleveland right now.
Spike is out there. Hey, Bruce, let me ask you: would you like to headline a fight at Madison Square Garden? I think I know the answer, but I would you at the big, not the theater, not the
I know
theater.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to. First off, I would like to have a fight in the big garden. First off, like I haven't had a fight in the big garden yet. I fought in the theater, and the theater's great. I love the theater. Always great for the fight in the theater. But yeah, I'm trying to fight in that big garden at some point, man. Like I was supposed to fight December 10th of last year in the big garden for Heisman weekend, but my opponent ended up being hurt. Like he had failed his physical and everything, so I wasn't able to fight. But so it was kind of a blow. You know what I mean? It was a big blow to the stomach. But yeah, I want to do that. But headlining, oh, that's a no-brainer. I would love to do that, bro. Pack out that whole house, the whole New York, the whole team Carrington, wherever y'all from, whether it's across the country or across the world, coming through to just watch me fight and me giving y'all a show. I would love to do that.
But that's what we're hoping for as well. We know you're gonna hold it down for the city. So when that time comes, we hope that. I know everybody go to Vegas for the big fights. We hope that you bring one of them big fights to the Garden.
No, I have to. Come on, I have to. Man, I'm trying to do that, and hopefully, I actually want to try to bring a big fight to the Barclays too. Like I want to do that for sure. That's Brooklyn. That's my backyard, man. And if Top Rank can make something happen, let's make that happen.
Oh, they're gonna make it happen. As a matter of fact, let me call a couple cats up.
Yeah,
get this thing straightened out.
They got to make it happen for you. Trip, I think we were at the Barclays when Santa Cruz was there. We were there. Trip and I had the pleasure of being there twice when Santa Cruz fought at the Barclays, and we were there with the Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman, there you go.
We were there for that as well. So it's only a matter of time before Shu Shu was headline at the Barclays as well.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
First of all, we already spoke that into existence, so that's definitely going down. You're gonna be headlining at the Barclay and at MSG, so that's already done. You're gonna be bigger than Jadakiss during the versus battle at MSG when you get your night.
Yeah. Nah, that was crazy, son. Jada went crazy on Dipset. I ain't gonna lie. That was crazy, son. He totally shut the show down when it came to that. I was so mad because I had tickets to go. And I don't know what happened. I can't remember why I didn't go. And I regretted it so much. And I ended up not going. I was so mad, bro. I missed a good show.
That's all right, because they're going to be there for your fight, so don't even trip.
Yeah, facts.
They're going to come watch you. Trip, yeah, I was going to say, throw this question up there for him.
And we're going to get back to your other question in a minute, Lene. I don't we're going to get to everybody's questions, but we since we're talking on boxing, isn't Jay Prince involved with boxing? Have you met him? And why are you
listen, hold on.
Listen, I'm hungry, right? Listen, man.
First of all, the last part of the question, the future champ could do what he want. All right, if he want to eat all live, he can eat all live. It's cool. But go ahead, answer the rest of that. He can answer the rest of that.
But yes, Jay Prince is involved in boxing. He has a management team and everything like that. And I have met him. Me and him are actually really cool. He's a real cool dude, man. Big ups to my man, Jay Prince. He's doing his thing in the boxing game. A lot of good fighters under his stable. And man, he's taking his guys to the top. You got Shakur, you got Troy Isley, you got Jared Anderson, you got a lot of guys up, and he's doing his thing.
Hey, Bruce, I want to ask you, because you mentioned about the relationship with you and your dad and the plan that you guys have laid out to eventually make you the champion of featherweight and multi-divisions. Let's call it what it is. You're going to be a champ of multi-divisions.
That's right.
But was there ever the conversation of, maybe we're going to transition into the promotional side of things as well, because we see Tank doing that for himself now. We know Mayweather did that. Is that something that you would like to do as well?
No, it definitely is at some point. It's all going to come within time. We're definitely, we thought about that plenty of times before we even turned pro. So, that's in due time. We're going to make that move.
All right. So now I got a question for you. And this might... I heard this might be a rumor, so I don't know. So I need you to clarify this situation for us. Creed 3 just came out in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that Creed 4 is supposed to be filmed in Brooklyn and you're supposed to be starring in it?
No. Look at you speaking things into existence. I hope so. I would love, bro. That would go crazy, man. Like, No, who else? Who else to be in a Creed movie but me? You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, come on, that would be. You know what I mean? But that would be great if that happens, bro. Like God, you know, if you hear me, if you listen, if you watching this live, help a brother out.
Oh, he's definitely watching. He's definitely watching. He's definitely watching.
I can see it happening because they've implemented, you know, some young fighters into the series now. Obviously, Benavidez was just in the latest one as well.
Yeah. Oh, Benavidez did good too. He had a solid role in the movie. Very sad. It wasn't like just no cameo. It was just like he had. I saw Tony Ballou was in there, but he had his little. I mean, obviously he was in other movies, so of course they're not going to do too much with him on this one. Yeah. And but no,
Canelo was in there too. Canelo had a cameo in there.
Say it again.
Didn't Canelo have a cameo?
Canelo had a cameo,
but Benavidez was a main.
But he was actually
a solid role.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So and he did really good with his acting too, man. So. You know, I really feel like they're doing their thing and respecting the sport. This is something. Honestly, I honestly did not like boxing movies coming up. I didn't because one, they didn't really have too many real boxers coming up watching, you know, Rocky movies and stuff like that. Yeah. They had, you know, the dude. I forget his name, but the dude that played Apollo Creed. That
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. Yes, Carl Weathers. Yeah,
I'm a big Rocky fan, so I
yeah. You do your thing.
Well, he did have Tarver.
No. They waited until like the last two Rocky movies to do that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
They had Tommy Morrison in
the last
Rocky
two.
Rocky 5. Yeah, towards the end. You're right. Yeah, towards the end.
You know what I mean? Like the first four was like they just had actors, and then they didn't incorporate no real boxing moves in there, bro. Dude's throwing like 5 left hooks. You throwing 5 left hooks and get caught with all of them. Come on, son. That's crazy. And dudes get knocked down and get back up. Where's the 8 count? Like, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. Like it was ridiculous. And so I felt like it was really unrealistic, and they didn't really just give too much love and, you know, respect into the sport. Creed, he was like, you know, he did a lot of, you know, the shoulder roll, and I think was it Creed 1 or Creed 2. He implemented the shoulder roll into the movie. This last one, they put the Dempsey roll in the movie. You know, it's just like they paid attention to detail with certain things, and I really liked how they're paying attention to that, and you know, they giving boxing the respect that it deserves.
Let me ask you this, because so we haven't had a boxing video game in some time now, but there's supposed to be a new boxing game coming out. I want to say later this year. It's supposed to be a new boxing game.
Yeah.
ESPT. Yeah. So how do you as a fighter, because you know, obviously, you know, we know the top, the Canelos and those guys. How does a younger fighter make his way onto a new boxing video game?
I gotta keep making noise, man. I gotta keep, you know, putting on great performances. I would love to get the call to be a part of a video game like that. Like that would be a dream come true. I'm actually playing myself, and you know, and I hope I get a 99 rating for real, because they do that. You know what I mean? I just gotta keep making noise, man. You know, I gotta keep doing what I'm doing, and due time, I felt like I would be in the game like that, and especially with the nowadays, because the old boxing games, they wasn't like, you know, really updating on new fighters coming up. Now it's just like they're gonna be putting these new betas and stuff like that into where they can be updating and putting new characters and fighters inside these games. So I feel like in due time I'll be in it.
You on this episode and the previous episode, you talked about Mike Tyson being one of your boxing idols. You met him recently. What was that interaction like, you know, being face to face with Mike and just being able to chop it up with him?
Dude, bro, it was like a dream come true. Like when I tell you, I was so nervous. I see him like walking out of his SUV, walking towards me, and you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's Mike Tyson. Oh, it's Mike Tyson. But you know, I'm keeping it cool. I'm like, what's good, Mike? I mean, it was good, Mike. You know, so but it was great because you know, I saw him when I was little, but it didn't hit because I was young and I didn't really understand what the hype was about, you know, around Mike and, you know, this aura that carried around, you know, and his story. I didn't understand any of that. But as I got older, you know, I studied him and, you know, that's all I hear about is Mike Tyson. Then in some ways I related to him and certain things of how he thinks inside the ring and his mentality was when he's in there. And I grew a lot of respect for him. So it was like a starstruck moment for me, man. And he's a great guy. He's the type of dude that wears his heart on his sleeve and very transparent, very honest dude. And he has a big heart. And he's a unique person, bro. There's a reason why everybody loves Tyson, bro. It's like he's a great guy.
As far as like and it could be guys that are retired or just the seasoned veterans in the sport of boxing. Has anyone reached out to you in regards to what you've been able to accomplish thus far in your career and maybe given any type of advice or anything like that?
A few boxers, yeah. A few boxers like Danny Jacobs, he reached out to me from time to time and lets me know how I'm putting on for the hood and I'm putting on for New York and everything. A lot of boxers hit me up. Tim Bradley, he definitely, hits me up and lets me know, certain things I could, fix and tweak. But he's also like a guy that, gives me a lot of, praise and whatnot. Yeah, different guys, like they reach out to me in my DMs and, they show me a lot of love, man. And that just lets me know that I'm doing what I got to do.
I don't know if you've gone back and rewatched your fight from last week, but Timothy Bradley spoke very highly of you on the broadcast.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it. And to get a guy like Tim Bradley to speak very highly of me it's great, bro, because he can be really tough. He can be really tough. Like, I didn't see him rip dudes or, like, I didn't see him talk crazy. I'm just like, well, that better not be me. I mean, let me be sharp. I go in the gym. I'll be like, shoot, let me fix my jab, make sure it's straight. Like, my hand back up so Tim don't say nothing. You know what I mean? So, and, I'm happy that, I'm making guys like him proud and, everybody else proud. And I'm just going to keep doing what I got to do, man.
There's another Brooklyn heavyweight who's supposed to be coming back. Big Baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jerome Miller.
Yes. Where do you think he falls within the heavyweight division?
So it's a sticky situation with him, obviously. From the drug tests and everything like that. But I feel like if he got a good win under his belt after, since that layoff he's had, if he continues to keep winning, then he can make a case for himself like, yo, all of these wins that I had in the past wasn't a fluke. Like, I am that guy. I am that guy that was close to fighting Joshua and potentially taking his title. Like, I put in his work for real, and I am Big Baby. Like, he can definitely make a statement for himself. So, but he just got to put these fights in, and get a few more W's, build some respect, because a lot of guys, like, they trying to turn their back on him. Nah, bro. Like, if he continued to get them dubs, bro, and he's undefeated. Nobody's beat him. Let's see how it goes. But as of right now, it's tough to put him in conversation. He has to win a few fights, and then I'll be able to answer that question clearly for you.
Yeah, that's a great point too. Because remember, he was supposed to fight Joshua, and Ruiz stepped in that night.
Yeah,
and shocked the world. That could have been his moment.
Yo, seriously, what? Like, the Joshua that night, if Jerome would have got in there, I think he would have beat him. Honestly. Things happen for a reason.
Okay, so because I've always, in regards to European fighters, with the exception of Tyson Fury, a lot of these guys don't want to come to the U.S. to fight, and when they do come, it doesn't end well for them.
It's like the curse. It's like a curse or something.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I mean,
because you take a guy, let's say, like, I'll give you an example, like Ricky Hatton, right? Was completely just dominating, running over everybody. Comes to the U.S., fights Floyd. It doesn't end well. Fights Pacquiao. I want
to start it with fighting Collazo. When you fought Collazo, that was a tough fight, boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Collazo, I felt like, I mean, I watched the fight. I could see, Ricky winning, but Collazo made a good case for himself, and Ricky did not look good in that fight at all. So, but again, like you said, once he came over to America, he had a hard time.
I guess the Trip's point, like I said, the European fighters transitioning over. Do you feel there's a skill gap between the European fighters? Because like even Kambosos got that win over Teofimo, and really, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like he beat Teofimo really off of that first round. Teofimo kind of never really got his legs under him again the rest of that fight. But Devin Haney kind of exposed him for the next 24 rounds after that. Devin Haney showed we're not the same. Is there a skill gap, do you think, between the American fighters and the European fighters?
I love talking about that Teofimo Kambosos fight because Teo literally only lost from that. Like he lost the fight straight off the first round, and it wasn't more so because of the legs. His legs got back under him. It was the mentality. Teo came in there trying to knock him out. Like I feel like Teo had all the everything, on his side. Like I feel like because he was the champ and had all the belts, Kambosos came in there with respect. Kambosos came in there being careful, but once he knocked him down, Kambosos came in like he used that momentum and just took off the rest of the fight. Yeah. And Teofimo couldn't catch back up. Like, yeah, he dropped him back, but Kambosos was being disrespectful in there, bro. Like, disrespectful. He was laughing in his face and everything, and that messed with Teo's head. So it was the mentality thing that messed up Teo. Teo came in there with a good game plan and stuck to it. He would have won that fight easy. But to go and back to answer your question, I don't think it's a skill gap. And I think that's just a superstition. That's like a mental thing for real. I honestly feel like the reason why these European fighters don't want to come to America to fight sometimes, they want to do that, the superstition thing, whatever. But America's boxing, it's not as big as European boxing. Like you go overseas, you go over to England, bro. The fights might not be as as notable, but they're gonna sell out.
But they're selling, yes, absolutely.
They're selling out soccer stadiums.
Yeah,
like what I mean. We're not doing that over here. They're getting that money, so it makes sense for them to be fighting over there and want to stay fighting over there because they get more out of their fights. So what I mean, you can't be mad at them for that.
Once you're at that level where you're a pay-per-view draw, would you be willing to be the B side of a fight over in Europe the way that Errol Spence did against Kell Brook, or even the way Devin Haney was against Kambosos?
All the greats got to do it at some point. All the greats got to do it. You just got to believe in your talent, believe in yourself, and go ahead and handle business. Like at that point, all that superstition stuff doesn't don't matter. Like just imagine if one of us be thinking, oh, we're going over to do hometown, they might rob me or I might lose. Come on, you already putting defeat in your head. You already lost the fight before you step in the ring. I'm putting in that work. I'm putting in extra work. So I can make sure I get this dub. I'm gonna try to knock this dude out if I have to. Things like that. That's the type of mentality you gotta have. So I'll be more than willing to do that. I would love to, be the dude in his backyard. To be honest, you can't tell me nothing.
No, that's always good when you go on the road. And especially if you end the fight as early as you did last week, that's always a good thing. All right, so we know we got June 10th on the calendar. Do you have anything else coming up, either within the sport of boxing or outside of the sport of boxing, that the people need to know about?
Well, other than June 10th, to be honest, not much. You guys just keep following me on my Instagram and my social media. Everything. I'll be putting up different posts and whatever. You guys can follow that. My Instagram is Bruce_Carrington. My Twitter would be _Carrington1. And you guys can check out my documentary, Brownsville Born. You guys can watch that on brownsvilleboard.com. Give you a little crash course of my life. I have a little, my little backstory, and hopefully you guys will like it. But other than that, no, I ain't got nothing else, lined up on the outside. I'm just, focused on June 10th. Oh yeah, and my birthday's on one day, so yeah, that too.
Well, happy early birthday. You got the plans, yo. We can't give out the party location because people on live. If we don't have the whole world trying to show up to the party.
You're already seeing how some of these comments started to line up. Don't details out. You just don't do that. But happy birthday to the future champ for sure, man.
Thank you.
Yes. Really quick, because we're running low on time. I do want to get back to Lene's other question. Eric, she just wants us to get for me and you to give our pick for the two teams that will be in the finals and pick a winner, I guess.
I think the West is a complete crapshoot at this point, but I'm gonna say Milwaukee against Phoenix. And that's eliminating any injuries. I don't, we don't want any injuries in the playoffs. I think those are the two best teams. From a selfish standpoint, I'm hoping the Knicks go on a run, but I think it is Milwaukee versus Phoenix.
Yeah. I can agree with you on that one, man. Milwaukee, there, bro. Giannis is beasting as that, bro. Like I feel like, he got so many years to come to where he's just gonna be at the top of his game, and he's a dog, and he's just got the team on his back right now, and I feel like with Phoenix as well, like top team, bro. Like that's just crazy how they just got these guys together, bro. And this is an exciting year for basketball. Exciting for real. Like I feel like it could, to be honest, like you said, the West is crazy right now. Like it could go any way. It could go either way, bro, with anybody. Like even I'm a LeBron fan. Like I want even LeBron to come out his bag and show that championship edge, and get some of these guys up out of there in the West. It might not be likely, to be honest, but you never know, bro. Braun turned to beast mode sometimes, bro. So, yeah, man, this year is gonna be fun to watch.
Well, I'm gonna say this. You are absolutely right, Eric. The West is a crapshoot, and because of that, I'm taking my main man, Shu Shu's main man, LeBron James, to take the Lakers back to the finals.
Yeah, man.
And I do think that
if AD stay healthy, they got a problem, boy.
I agree, because the thing, and I think Phoenix will be in the Western Conference Finals. However, I just from what we've seen from Chris Paul the last couple of years, as you get later into the playoffs, and then Durant, with him. I mean, Durant got hurt in the layup line before the game even started. That don't even make no damn sense.
Yeah,
so, and I think that the Lakers are healthy at the right time. Things are clicking. So I think they make it to the finals. I think they can beat Memphis in this first round. I think it's going to happen quite easily. I think it'll be a competitive series, but I think they're going to shock a lot of people. They've been beating Golden State this season. So I think they can get to the finals. And then in the Eastern Conference, as long as Chris Middleton is healthy, Milwaukee will be in the finals. If Chris Middleton is not healthy, then I think the Celtics go back to the finals. But I'm just gonna, because I like to speak health, and I want to see the best guys out there on the floor. I don't like when superstars go down in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go Milwaukee, LA in the finals, and if that happens, then I'm still going. I don't bet against LeBron James like that.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with the Lakers. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I definitely like the Lakers in this first round. Trip, you and I have talked about it. I think this is a perfect matchup for the Lakers, getting Memphis in the first round. The only thing with the Lakers is really health, and in order for the Lakers to make that type of run, AD's got to be completely healthy for the next month and a half.
Yeah.
History hasn't really played on his side for that, but I definitely like them in this first round matchup. I agree with Trip. I think they get Memphis up out of there in 6. I just think this super tough, and Braun is going to take everything that Memphis has said very personal. Dylan Brooks has already come out and said, "Oh, I want to be the guy who eliminates LeBron." Dylan Brooks, you're not like that, bro. You gotta relax. You're not like that. So to call out,
he's causing a lot of ruckus, bro.
To call out an all-time legend, and say, "Oh, I want to be the one that takes him out," this ain't gonna end well for him.
Remember what happened the last time Memphis was talking crazy to LeBron? He came down and threw it on Jaren Jackson. Who's probably going to be defensive player of the year.
And don't forget Shannon Sharp almost knocked out somebody's father too.
Yeah,
it almost got real crazy.
Right.
So you got to relax.
Yeah.
Facts. Shu Shu, can you want to give us a final thought for the show?
Man, like you guys, listen, June 10th, you guys gonna have to watch that. My next fight, I'll be fighting Madison Square Garden in the Hulu Theater. You guys can watch that on ESPN Plus. But if not, I'm gonna have my ticket link in my bio pretty soon in the next couple days, and you guys can click that link, hit the promo code Shu Shu, and you go ahead and cop them tickets, man. And I'll see y'all then.
Well, make sure y'all following the future champ. Now don't wait and then try to jump on the bandwagon later. I mean, you can still follow him later and be a fan, but we like to have the core following. We got to build up that core following. So make sure y'all following him on all his social media and get ready for June 10th, because if I had to make a prediction, I'm gonna say that Shu Shu ends another fight early on June 10th. And I don't even know who the opponent is yet. I ain't even do my homework yet, but I'm just gonna say that like that, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a fact. That you dropped the information. Make sure y'all tuned in, because you don't want to click over and then see Shu Shu already celebrating. That's how quickly it happens. That's how quickly it happens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't blink. Don't leave your seat. Don't get your popcorn. Be glued to your seat and enjoy the show.
No, you can't, because like we had, watching the fight, we ordered food. My boy went down to get the food, thinking, it's the second round, everything's gonna be good to go. The man was knocked down before he got back upstairs. I didn't even hear, how you hear the doorknob open somebody? I didn't even hear that. And the man was already out in the corner like this, and the ref had to pull you back. So don't leave, okay, until the fight is over. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
That's a fact. Trip and I, actually, true story, we were texting, and I had just texted him like, yo, Shu Shu about to start right now. And within a few minutes, we was like, all right, that was over. All right, what's the next fight?
Crazy, man.
I kid you not. I think I spent more time hyping up Keyshawn's fight, because yours was over so quick. It was like, we ain't got nothing to talk about. It's done. That's it.
That's what I did want to ask you about. The kid fought after you. He's a heavyweight.
That's Jared.
Okay.
Nah, the kid that fought after
the one that had the OVO show, the one that was going back and forth with Wallow.
Jared,
Jared.
Yes.
Yeah. He called himself Big Baby too. Them two is him and Jerome Miller. That'd be crazy.
And Jared been catching a lot of bodies lately too.
Yeah. He's 14-0, 14 knockouts.
So you would like to see him and Big Baby go at it?
I mean, yeah, just for they got a little grudge between them. They don't like each other. And obviously, like, you got Jerome Miller called himself Big Baby, Jared Henderson the real Big Baby. He did that for a reason, bro. Come on, you got what I mean. So I would love to see that just for entertainment purposes and everything like that, for sure. But I see Jared definitely becoming a future world champion. He's got some great work with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said he was probably his toughest sparring partner yet, and there's a lot of whispers and gossip going around saying how he gave Tyson Fury some work. I don't know how true that is, but it's out in the universe. It's out in that it's out there right now. So Jared, he's doing a great job. And I'm really liking how he's moving. I'm loving his style. He moves like a welterweight, middleweight. He has a great style and an exciting an approach to the game. I can't wait to see what's next for him.
Hey, Bruce, you mentioned it, and it just triggered something to me. Should we put any real thought into those sparring sessions? Because we've heard Tank and Devin Haney go back and forth about their sparring sessions. Mm-hmm. We've seen video of Ryan Garcia and Riley sparring sessions. You talked about some of the really good guys that you sparred with. Are those moments where you just working on things, or should we really validate those moments and be like, he really got the best of him in sparring?
Oh, for sure. Like there's times that you're working on things, but when you're going and get in with guys with certain names, you gotta bring your A game.
There's gonna be a lot of eyes on you.
Yes, exactly. Like those eyes are gonna be talking outside the gym. You gotta give them something to talk about. So I feel like they be really fighting when they be in there. Like that's, to be honest, like that's what we all do. They be scrapping. We ain't in there touching each other, working on stuff. Like at least from the first sparring session. Like the first sparring session, we get it in. Yeah. After that, then we'll check each other's temperature, see if we gonna get it in again or just work on stuff. But that first sparring session is where it's at, and them stories they hold some truth to it, and they will be carried into the fight if these guys end up fighting each other. I want to see Shakur and Devin. I want to see Shakur and Tank. I want to see Tank and Devin. I want to see all these guys fight each other. Ryan in the mix, T.O. in the mix. Keyshawn is making a name for himself. Keyshawn Davis, put him in the mix. Yo, let all these guys fight each other, man, and let's see who, but when the smoke clears, who at the top.
All right. Well, listen, with that being said, once again, we want to thank everybody that was rocking out with us on the live. Thank you for your questions and all your comments. Again, make sure you guys are following us on all our social media, facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk, Twitter, Instagram @Real Fan Talk, youtube.com/For the Fans Productions. And of course, New York City, y'all keep holding us down Thursday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. on Verizon 43. And if you're not, don't worry. All you got to do is go to realfansrealtalk.com, click that red button on the homepage, and you can watch us from anywhere in the world. And June 10th, man. It's going down.
That's right.
You see what it is. Bruce Carrington will be back in action. And lastly, make sure you subscribe to both the Sanchez Show podcast and the Real Fans Real Talk podcast, streaming on all major platforms. With that being said, for myself, Trip Young, my brother, legend in 2 games, Eric Sanchez, and the future undisputed featherweight champion of the world, who moves up. It takes it. We might have to do now. We might have to do the first person in men's boxing to do what Clarissa Shields did and be undefeated.
I ain't doing that. No, I ain't doing that. She got it, bro. I don't know how. Like she's a special talent. She got it. I ain't doing that. You don't see none of the guys. You don't see guys going, bro.
Yeah.
She's going up in weight, down in weight, back up. She's wild.
And fighting MMA. Crazy.
Yes, crazy. In her spare time, she got an MMA fight.
Yo, for real. Like, listen, she got it. She the GOAT for a reason. You know what I mean? She doing her thing, bro. That ain't my thing.
Shu Shu, man, we appreciate you as always. It's always good to have family back on the show, man. So much success, much continued success to you. And we're gonna be looking forward to June 10th, man.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all tune in, man. ESPN Plus, June 10th.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, man. We up out of here, guys. Peace.